Hello students, it's been some time now since we have been learning the processing language, and to continue further learning I have prepared one tutorial which is a sort of an animation game, okay, wherein I'm having one character which is a circle here, and there's a moving objects which is this wall, or which is this rectangle, and when they two meet, a collision detection happens, and accordingly according to the collision detection the game stops. Okay, so there's a different screen which pops up. This is one tutorial which I'm going to discuss with you. I'm going to make the complete game from scratch. So, and once you get a basic understanding of this, students, you can imply these logics for your ideas which you have thought about, okay, and work accordingly. It is also not expected that you need to have some real cartoon or characters made. You can have a simple characters like what I have made, say like it's just a circle, okay, and it is like in colliding with some another character which is the say a rectangle or square. Okay, so students, how to the concept here is that I've used mouse press event. Okay, so the event logic would be discussed with you, and when the collision happens, how a new screen pops up. Okay, so let's start with the understanding. It's very easy. Okay, I'll make the code from scratch and so show you how it's to be done. So I'll remove, delete everything from here. Okay, so students, let's start off with the setup method. Setup is the first method to be called when we load a processing program. Let me define a size to the screen, width and height 500 500, and let's there be a background color, a background for the complete screen, say 255, which is white. Then there would be a method with the name draw. A draw is a very common method which is used for animation. A draw method gets called 60 times per second. And in this draw method, I will be also having, because I need to refresh the screen. So again, a background 255. Let me add a circle to it, which is going to be my character. Okay, a circle will have its x-axis 50, its y-axis 50, and see its complete diameter I'm making it 30. And let us fill this circle with a color. So let me color it is something like 255 comma 100 comma 100. 255 is a RGB combination, students, it is used, so it is more of reddish and then green and blue. So when we will see the output how it looks, so I'm basically able to get a circle, okay, which is one of my characters. Now further what to do. So we what we need is that when I do any mouse press event, I want the circle to be moving up and down. When I mouse press it, the circle should move up, just like a helicopter game or like a Flappy Bird game. Okay, when you press, then the that particular character moves up, and when you release the mouse, then the character goes down. Okay, so for this, students, for the up and down movement, I have to change the y-axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Okay, y is the vertical part. So as the mouse is being pressed, the y-axis should go up, means the y-axis should decrease, because as it goes up means it is getting minus, and when it goes down the y-axis it getting plus. So when I press the mouse, the y-axis should go in minus so that the circle will look like going up, and when I release the mouse, the y-axis of the circle should become positive so that the circle can be seen like moving downwards. Okay, so since we are going to change this y-axis, so I'll define it in the form of a variable. So I'll define a variable, say a character y, initial value. Okay, this initial value I can set up, add in the setup itself, because as we run for the first time, the setup methods get called, define initial value as say 50 here, and change this to character y, so that this is a variable now, and dealing with variable using mathematical tasks, calculations, okay, big computations become easy. So now let's detect for the mouse event. So we say when the mouse is pressed, okay, is like the left key which is being pressed, then what should happen? Okay, what should happen is that this circle, the circle we are making, which is my character, okay, this circle's y-axis should be decreasing. So I'll write here character y equal to character y minus 1. Else means if the mouse is not being pressed, then there should be a fall in this character. Okay, so character y I will be increasing, equal to character y plus 1. Okay, so let's see, we'll make part by part code and see the output, if any, how the effects is there. Okay, so if when I'm not pressing any mouse, okay, the left click, the circle is falling, and when I press the mouse, it is going minus minus minus. We can also check this out by printing it on the console by writing print ln the character y value which is there. Okay, so fine, so let's run it again, see how it looks. Okay, the output is not been getting displayed, so I'll just minimize the screen here so that I can see the console as the output is getting displayed. Okay, so you can see here it is like when I'm not pressing the mouse press is plus 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 happening, when mouse press though is minus minus happening. Okay, so it goes up and down. Okay, so character is now having some top and down motion. But if you see, if I'm not pressing any mouse, though it's a free fall happening and the character is getting plus plus plus. Now when I press the mouse, student, it's been like getting minus minus minus, but immediately the character is not getting displayed because the screen's width is 500, so it takes some time to reach to 500. Okay, so we need to deal with this now, because now the character completely disappears, and the count is still happening. Okay, the counter is still getting incremented. Okay, so we want that the count, as the character moves out of the screen, the character should the count should stop. Okay, the character y plus plus should be stopped, and the character should be seen on the screen. Okay, so so we are going step by step, students. If you see, okay, when you also try slowly, make one character, have plus minus, okay, understand what is the reason behind using it. Now I am having a new like a purpose, a need. The character is free fall and is getting plus 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 only. So I need to limit it. I need to make it to the it to stop when the height of when it reaches to the bottom of my screen. Okay, and how we deal with it is that I will write if character y say it's less than 0. Less than 0 means it is on the top of the screen. So you make the character y itself to come at 0. Stop, make him stop there. Else if, so this will happen when, students, when the y value is getting minus minus, when we are pressing the mouse. Okay, when the mouse press event occurs, so y is getting minus minus minus, so it could happen the character y will reach to a value of 0, that is top of the screen. When the character y is greater than the height means height is the default variable. Okay, we have width and height default variables. Height means the current height of my screen, and the current height of the screen is 500, and the width is also 500. Okay, so this is the 500 value which will come here. So the character y reaches exceeds 500, then what we say here is let the character y be the height itself. So just make it to stop there. So let's run and see. So I'm not doing any mouse press. Okay, now also to see the output, I'll minimize this and then run again. Okay, so it's like a plus 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 happening, the values are getting incremented, and now when it reaches the height, okay, 500, it stops. Now there's no plus plus further happening here. And then when I start from here, see, instantly it starts. Okay, so we are able to have some motion like with the event, there is a mouse press. Now what further can be done? Students, anytime if I want to, okay, increase or decrease the speed of it, okay, although we use plus and minus 1, so if I want to make the speed to, I can directly also change it, plus and minus 2 or 3. So but we can also define through a variable. It's always better to deal with a variable, so I'll write, say, character speed, character speed. Okay, and this character speed, initially I'll set it to 0. Okay, and then it can be 1 also. So I'm just changing this 1 to this variable 1. Okay, it will be like minus character speed, and instead of writing plus 1 or minus 1, I'm writing the variable name, character speed. So the output would be the same, but it can be more controllable. That is, if I write say 3, okay, it will be much faster now. Okay, as a, yes, so the fall is happening much faster. Okay, and when I mouse press it, it is also moving upwards. But student, there's it's not looking very realistic. Means realistic, what I need is that is something like when, say, when some person is, okay, participating in some running competition. So when the person starts, it's always like it's a slow start. Okay, it's like you gradually pick up the speed. Okay, here it is also what's happening is that when I press, there's the mouse, the speed is constant. It's like plus one, okay, happening. The character y values are getting changed, but there is no there's no proper like a speed wherein I wanted to, as a mouse press it, it should gradually increase the speed. It should not look, the common constant speed should not be there. Okay, so for dealing with that, what we will do is just something more improvisation which I'm trying to do is that I will use this character speed whose a value I started initially with 1. Okay, so when the mouse is pressed, what we can, this logic we can apply here is that when the mouse is pressed, instead of changing the character y directly, let's change the character speed. The new character speed should be what is the old character speed. I will explain you what this statement would do. Okay, minus 1. Okay, or we can increase it gradually. So I'll change it to, since alls are defined in float values, fractional, say minus 0.1, else character speed equal to character speed plus 0.1. So it's easy, student. I will explain you why we are doing this. Okay, so initial value of character speed is 1. Speed decides upon how, when you do an event, okay, how fast or slow the character should move. Now what we have done, when the mouse is pressed, so say initial value is 1. When the first time when the mouse is pressed, what will happen is that the character speed value, which is 1, is getting minus with zero point 0.1, and this new value is given to whom? To the character speed. Okay, so let me, I will change it to fractional later. It's because just to, for mathematical tasks it will be easy. So I'll just change it to integer values now. So when it is starts with 1, okay, when the mouse is pressed, the character speed, which is already 1, becomes 0, or we can start with 0 also. Okay, so that is also fine. Okay, so initially is 0, so it will be 0 minus 1, it will become minus 1. Okay, the new character speed become minus 1, but still I keep the mouse pressed happening. So what will happen is that the character speed, which is the new value of minus 1, minus 1 become minus 2. I keep the mouse press happening, so it will be like minus 2, minus 1, minus 3. So you, if you notice, the character speed is changing. In some time back when we did, the character speed was like plus 1 only. Now the character speed itself changes, okay, depending upon how much mouse press or mouse release we do. So this value now, whatever character speed value comes, I'm adding it to my character y. Character y, okay, plus character speed. Okay, so let's run this example and see. Oh, it's very moving very fast, so I'll change it to zero point 0.1. So basically I am increment it like a, so it first initially it will be slow start, and then okay it will move faster. So let's see, so it starts here, so see now, okay it picks up speed. So now it looks something sort of like the helicopter game of Flappy Bird, like okay a slow motion effect, which can be, we can get it. Okay, so students, I have done one part. Now we are having a character which with the mouse event it can be moved up and down, though more things can be added, like when it touches the bottom of the page the game can terminate, or top of the page the game can terminate, that can be further added. Okay, but now like for this example it is like it is moving up and down. Now student, let's add another character to it. Okay, one more thing, this value is still getting plus 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 incremented. So this is happening because of this character speed is getting plus point 0.1 0.1. So you can see point 0.1 0.2 is getting incremented. So I can control the character speed value also here. I'll write if character speed is okay, let's just say less than -5. Okay, so then you set the character speed to be at -5. Else if character speed is greater than 5, set the character speed value to be at 5. So I don't want a very big change in numbers happening. Okay, a semicolon. Okay, so now when we see, okay, fine, so it stops somewhere. Okay, and then I'll be able to move it up or move it down. The character speed also is controllable, and we can have some effect of a mouse press event. So student, it is not very difficult to, it's just variables dealing. Okay, it's just plain logic, no, nothing much too much of heavy code involved. Of course the game is also look very basic. Okay, and we also don't want you to have plenty of characters and all. You can have with simple circle and square or rectangle. Okay, collision detection is important, which I'm going to teach you ahead now. Okay, and we have one character which is plotted. Now let's add, for a game it is always like the characters, multiple characters communicate with each other. You can also call them as sprites. Okay, so let me add further, let me add one more character now, which is going to be a wall. Okay, and how well I will make the wall is, okay, with a rectangle. Okay, let me define it some values, initial values, say 50 comma 50. This 50 comma 50 indicate the x and y from where the wall coordinate would start, and then this, say I'm 30, 30 means the wall width and what could be the height of the wall. Okay, so I'll just run it and see how it looks. Now I don't need this printing part, so we'll remove this line. So there would be like a rectangle which could be seen. Okay, though the color of the rectangle is the same as that of the character color or the circle color. So let me fill it up, the rectangle, with a different color. So we'll write fill and say 100 comma 255 comma 100. Okay, and so fine, so this particular rectangle or wall appears, but I want this wall to be coming on the edge of the screen. Okay, because it should move from right to left. So let me place it to the edge of the screen. How we can do it is, okay, how we can do it is that I'll have to change what, students, I will have to change the, okay, I will have to change the x-axis. Okay, this is the x, this is the y, this is the width, and this is the height. Okay, so let me define variables now. Let me write up here float wall x, float wall y. Okay, so wall x and y will decide the initial position of the wall. Let the wall x start from 50 for now. Let's say wall y start from 50 for now, and these wall x and y value, let us assign to these variables. This will be wall x, this will be wall y. Okay, and then when we run the application, we can see the same thing. Okay, the wall is visible here, x and y is 50-50, and then the width is 30. This complete box is a 30, and then the height is 150. Okay, now I want this one to be placed on the right corner. So what should we change, student? I should be changing the x-axis. The x-axis which is coming from 50, the x-axis should be coming on the edge. So x-axis should be of a higher value. So say I can write it like this: width. Width is the variable which gives me the current width of my screen. Okay, so I'm making it width is equal to the width. Width is 500. 500. So it will take me to the edge. But what will happen is that the wall won't be visible. Okay, wall won't be visible. Why? Because the wall right now is starting from 500. Okay, and then it's taking 30 space. Okay, and then it's taking 30 space and 150 height. So this is not visible. So what I will have to do, since I want to just make it look, it's start from here. So I will be having to change, okay, the wall x-axis. I'll write it, say this, the width is assigned to the wall is 30. Okay, so I'll write up here with minus 30. Okay, so see here, I'm not writing directly minus 30. First we are writing without minus 30, how it looks, why the wall is not appearing. Okay, because it is completely gone towards its, okay, the start was from the 500 value, so made is like 470, so that now the wall 30 pixel value could be seen. Okay, 30 pixel width could be seen, because now the new value to start for the x of the wall is 470. Okay, so fine, it is moved from this corner to this corner. Okay, now further, what students, since we made we are able to control this character with the mouse, but for the wall I want it to be constantly moving. Okay, it's not to be controlled by the user intervention. It's like an obstacle, and it should be constantly moving on the screen. So how to make the wall move? If you think about the logic, student, it is very easy. What should I be changing is that I should be changing the, if I want to move it vertically, sorry, horizontally I want to move it. So if I want to move horizontally, the wall x value should be changed. It should be minus 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 now, because more I move it toward the left hand side, it will be minus. Okay, it should decrement. So what we will do, we'll go to the program, or say I'll write wall x equal to current wall x value, say minus 2. I'm just writing a random value, minus 2. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Okay, so fine, so we are able to move the wall. Now what is the limitation in this? Again, as it happened for our circle, okay, it will be constantly moving. Okay, I'll print this value now, wall current value of wall x at what. So print wall x. Okay, you can guess it, what we want to do now. Okay, is that fine, the minus is happening. Okay, it's moving across, but it is not stopping, it's just go on moving. So we need to make it stop, and when one reaches at the start of the, okay, of my screen, and then it should restart again, right? So student, for that, what shall we do? Okay, so we can write something like this: if, I'll use a if condition. If the wall x, okay, wall x is moving, okay, say plus 30, okay, because the width of my wall is less than 0. Less than 0 means it has moved from 500 width to minus 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 is happening, so reaches on the left hand side of the wall, left hand side of my screen, so it becomes less than 0. Okay, then you do what? Then you set the wall x value to be the width. Width is the width of my screen. Okay, so now when I do so with this change, okay, what will happen is that, let's run an application and see. as the wall moves, okay, minus 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 happening, and then again it start from the width, again it minus 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 happening. Draw is getting called, draw method is getting called again and again. Okay, so I can see that effect. So students, very simple. So we have the mouse motion also. It hardly takes 10 15 20 minutes to make this much for now. Okay, now I'll show you how collision detection also happens. We also need multiple walls to appear. The speed can be controlled. So if I want to control the wall speed, what shall we do is that as we wrote character speed, I will define one more variable, say float wall speed, and say the wall speed value, I'll set it to say 5. Okay, and this 5 will give it to, okay, give it, instead of this minus 2 we'll set wall speed. Okay, so the wall x which is getting decremented, it will decrement by minus 5 now. Okay, so it's much faster. Okay, now the next task, student. Of course, we need for looking it better, we need the wall should not appear every time on, okay, on a particular height. We need the height to be changed. Okay, and we already have the wall y variable. Y variable decides upon the y axis of the wall. Okay, the y position of the wall. Okay, so I want the wall to appear at different y positions also. So here I can write, if I want to write multiple statement in if, you can put them in curly braces. If you notice, if I was just writing one line inside if, so I was not putting curly braces, though putting curly braces is not like compulsory for one line, so I was not putting curly braces. But when we have a block of lines which is a part of an if, okay, then you need to put in curly braces. So now student, I'm dealing with wall y, but with a purpose. Why wall y I'm dealing with? What is my requirement is that I want the wall y is starting always from a fixed position. Okay, so I want it to randomly being selected. So I can write, say, wall y equal to, if we have a random function which generates a number, okay, whatever number we specify, say I've written height, so random 500, is the height is the 500 value, that so it will generate a number between, okay, 0 and 500, some random number. Okay, and so some random number is generated, and this I will add. So basically I'm changing the wall wire, students, with this whatever task we are doing here. Okay, the computation, it will affect the wall y. So random height means I also don't know what number would be generated, and this random height, and what it should be assigned to. Okay, what is your some what is the wall height is currently 150. So if I write up, say, 150 divided by 2, I'm just seeing it how different it could look. So new wall y value, okay, so it comes here. Okay, it goes up, it comes here, good, comes down, very good. So we are getting some, the wall which is moving, okay, which is looking like it is coming at a random state. Okay, the y value is not fixed now, good. So student, one more part of us done. Okay, so now what else remains? Okay, now the collision detection part. So when the circle and the wall, okay, a circle and the rectangle, say, when they come in contact with each other, then I need something to be happening. Okay, some task to happen. So student, for that what I'm going to do is, okay, uh, for that I'll go to take you to Google, and there is some tutorials which are being prepared, right? Collision detection by Jeffrey Thompson. Okay, and for the first link which I get when I click here, he has given enormous examples of different objects colliding with each other, and ready codes are being given, student, here. Basically what we want to do is, say, if the point to point colliding, point to circle colliding, circle and circle colliding with each other, so the detection would happen. If I go to the section of our example, come in section 2, we have a circle and a rectangle. Okay, so if I click here, circle and rectangle, okay, it what this test whatever code he has provided, what it does, if the circle is to the right, which is in our case it is right of the square, check against the right edge. Okay, the right edge of the circle meeting the left edge of the square. If the circle is at the left of the square, check against the left edge. Okay, the circle is on the left of the square, it will check on the left edge of the rectangle or right of the rectangle. Sorry, if the circle is on the left of the square, okay, so it will check the left edge of the rectangle. So he has already provided some code. If want, we can you can more understand, okay, by seeing he has deal with the if x-axis and width and height, the test for left edge, right edge. What I'm doing is that I'm using this code, copying this code from here. You can also take help from your student. Okay, just you can mention in for your criteria C. Okay, you have taken referred from this section. Okay, and you can use it, it's not a problem. So I'll add the collision detection now. So there's a this is my complete draw method which gets terminated here. Okay, and paste that code, which will be a circle and rect colliding with each other. What this method does is that it gives you a boolean answer, true or false. If they collide, it will give a value of true. If they don't collide, it gives the value of false. Now let me add up. So I've pasted it where, student? This draw method is getting closed here. This complete draw method block, the draw method starts here, setup method gets closed here, and I'm pasting it outside the draw method. Okay, outside the draw method. This is a new method which is being pasted. Let me go inside the draw method now, and let me call this function which is circle rect. What the circle rect says is that provide me your characters x and y values, and I will do the computation, and I will return true or false on basis of whether they are colliding or not. So I will tell my, so I'll go to my circle when where I have plotted what is my x value of the circle. Somewhere I would have written x value was 50, y value was this character y, and this was the complete diameter. Okay, so 50, we start with this, so it was 50. I'll write the same axis, y value, x value we were not changing for the circle is 50 only, y values were getting changed, so character y, uh, so cx will be for 50, cy, the circle y is the character y. Then it asks for the radius. Student, just take care, radius, this particular circle, the circle which we made, okay, when we wrote 30, it is a complete diameter. Okay, so radius would be the half of it, so I'll write up here 15. Then we talk about the radius is done, then we talk about rectangle x. So I'll go to the rectangle and check what we are given is wall x, wall y, width and height. Okay, so I'll write this x, y, width and height only. So it will be wall x, comma wall y, comma width, comma height. Or I can write directly also, that is 30, comma 150. Okay, so these are the wall rectangles width and height values. And let just to test it out, let me just print it, whether to see whether when the detection happens, collision happens, sorry, is this method gives me a true or false value or not. Okay, so let me run the application. So the output would be displayed here. If you want to write print ln, so that print ln will give the output on multiple lines. Okay, so I can write say print ln here. So when we run, okay, false, 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 so they are not colliding with each other till yet. Let me make it collide. So see, true came, collide. So you can notice here the true value comes or not a stone. See, a true came. When it collides, the true value comes. Okay, so fine, so we are able to detect the collision between the two objects. Okay, so this is one part. Now what to do next? Okay, now when the collision happens, when they detect each other, I want the program to, it's like a stop for the program. Screen should pop up, a new page should come, which will display me some message. Okay, and it's very easy to do, student. So now there would be two states I can see. One state is that when the program is when your game is running, okay, when the no collision has happened, okay, then the page how it looks, and the another stage would be when the collision happens. So I can define these two states by dealing by through a variable. I can write in state integer value, right? Initial value of state is 1. Okay, when is 1, 1 means it is a smooth running, it's the start of the program. Okay, and the program is, and my processor is, the game is running. So I'll write, and the running code is all written inside this draw method. Okay, till this part everything is for the running code. The characters are moving, the okay, and the walls are moving across. So all this code was there, so I'll put all this block inside if state equal to 1, which is also the default value. So always it will be like the start of the program, which will be having the circle, your characters, your rectangle, all moving. So when it is state is 1, okay, you make all this. So now you have to be careful when we how we deal with curly braces, huh, student. So it is all part of this block. Okay, all part of this block till which section? Okay, it is, say, till here, this curly brace. Okay, so it is all like, okay, where the state is 1. Okay, you it is like the animation effect is coming. So everything I put it here. Else else if state equal to 2. So somewhere I will change the state value. I'll just put a curly braces here. Okay. So then do something. State 2 means when the circle and rectangle will collide. Okay. That time you change the value of state to 2, and then you do some task. And what task to do when they collide, that would be written here. So how will I detect when they collided? So when the I'm coming back into the draw method. The draw method, the task was happening. So I'll write here if condition. If they collide, and this is the code which will detect whether they collided or not. If they collide means if the circle, rectangle, and all these values meet, and if it returns true means the collision has happened. Okay, when the collision has happened, what you do, you change the state value to what? 2. So initially the state value was 1. When the state value was 1, the draw method was constantly getting called and the animation effect was coming. But soon as the collision happens, which is this code, as the collision happens, you change the state value to what? 2. Since it's just one line, I'm not putting it in curly braces. Okay, change the state value to 2. As soon as the state value changes to 2, what will happen? Okay, now the else if part will get true because the state value has changed from 1 to 2, and I've not written any code yet. Okay, so it is to go to this block of code which is empty, which is not having any task written here. So let's see the output, student, how it looks. Okay, fine, collide, stop. Why it stops, student? Because for the state value 2 we have not written anything here. So now this part is completely controlled. When the state value is 1, the animation is there, and when it reaches to 2, it should stop. Okay, the simple, student, just a proper placement of variable values are needed. Okay, and it is doable. It's not something which is not possible, student. It could be like this what I am showing you. It could be your complete criteria C also, depending upon, you can modify it to your need. Okay, and make it, I don't we don't need something very, if you are using codings and all. Okay, you can make it a very simple application wherein basic logics are applied, student, because we have spent time on this a lot in the start of the lessons and all. Okay, so fine. So now what to be done next? Okay, so it's stopping for now. Okay, it stops for now. So let me give the user a message. Okay, so how to give a message is, first let's change the color. Let's change the background color of that. When it comes to 2, when it stops, when it collides, then let's change the background color to 0. 0 means it will be complete black in color. Let me have a faux color. I want it to be red, so I'll make it 0 255 comma 0 comma 0. Some text size will define, say 48. It can be any number. And what text I want to give, I want to give a text, say game over, some exclamatory sign, and what could be the width, what could be the, just randomly I'm writing. Okay, Fine, let's run the example and see now till the collision doesn't happen. Okay, it is fine. Okay, now, and as it collides, okay, we have a game over message. A new screen pops up. Okay, so student, this is one small, okay, application developed. Now student, again I'll prepare one more tutorial which will deal with the scores, as if you pass the hurdles then your plus one should happen, and the person would be given a score. Okay, so that detection would happen. Okay, so this is the part student, I want you to go through the tutorial. Okay, go to the step by step, and ask me any questions during the lesson. In the lesson time I will give you time to watch the tutorial. Okay, and you can ask me any questions about it. Okay, okay, so we'll stop for now. This link also I'll share it during the lesson time.